Are you paying attention? There's red in this shirt. What time is it? What time is it, everybody? There's red in this shirt. It's time for Red Hat. Listen, now we're going to get started on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. We're going to start the process. You've already passed the LFCS. If you haven't passed the LFCS, go back and do that. Why are you sitting here looking at me, talking about Red Hat, clicking on Red Hat, and you haven't passed the LFCS exam? I don't want to hear nothing about no Linux Plus, no LPIC, no LPI. That's not going to help you. It's not going to help you one bit with the Red Hat Certified Systems Administrator hands-on practical exam. So, do you see the red? Are you looking? So listen, we're going to deep dive in and start the process of focusing on the Red Hat distribution. Now, can you use Rocky Linux if you go past the 14, 16, so there's a limitation on how many developer instances you're allowed to use from Red Hat. I believe it's 16. I have to look at it. I haven't looked at it recently. But once you hit that threshold, you can't get any more. Or you have to go through a bunch of craziness, remove the entitlement, add it back. So it gets to be a little hokey pokey. But if you're trying to actually just learn from the standpoint of an RPM distribution, you can use Rocky Linux. That's perfectly fine. Rocky Linux is what CentOS used to be. So Rocky Linux is 100% bug for bug, binary compatible to Red Hat Enterprise Linux without the branding, open source community, very amazing. So you can use Rocky Linux for your training and for your testing purposes. But for the exam itself, I highly recommend that you spend time with Red Hat Enterprise Linux, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and go through the history of Red Hat. Where did it come from? How did it come about? It didn't just become this multi-billion-dollar company overnight, purchased by IBM. It was a process that actually led it to become an enterprise Linux distribution. Now, keep in mind this, Red Hat is the most used Linux distribution in the United States government. For the Department of Defense, many enterprises, whether it's fintech or many other industries or industries that have a heavy reliance on enterprise Linux, use Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So don't waste your time learning Oracle Linux and all these other distributions, and there's like 1,000 different distributions. Don't worry about that. What you need to worry about is what's going to pay you money in your pocket, right? So don't worry about everything else. If you want to do it for a hobby, more power to you. If the company that you start working for is using a different distribution, hey, rock on, learn it. But for now, focus on Red Hat Certified Systems Administrator. When you get done with that, move on to the Red Hat Certified Systems Engineer, okay? All right, let's get started.